Hello and welcome to Click Brand and Beyond podcast. I'm Anoop Kurup.
And I'm Nisha Prakash.
At Click Brand and Beyond, we break down marketing and brand building into easily digestible nuggets from business founders. We teach you how to use the latest technology and trends to grow your business. Let's get started.
Hi, Anoop.
Hello, Nisha. So, what's happening and what are we talking about today?
The funny thing, before we get on to what we're talking about, I just wanted to share this little tidbit about attention span. And somebody was talking about how attention has become the new currency, not even time, not money, of course not, is the attention. And the funny thing is that we now have the attention of a goldfish, or possibly later than that, because there is so much of digital noise around us. So what do you think about your attention span?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I got distracted. No, no, just joking. But um, I don't know. I mean, is it really true? Some of these things, when people say, and we just take them for absolute truth without checking them, is kind of annoying. I'll tell you what. If attention spans were so low, why is it that people are spending 3 hours on an average per day on their smartphone scrolling on social media? You can say, you know what, 15-second videos are the popular one, 30-second videos are the popular one. But then people are also listening to 3 hour long podcast episodes. They're also watching 10 episodes, binge watching 10 episodes of new series on Netflix or other OTT platforms. We cannot say that attention spans have decreased. I would think that, there's an overwhelm of choice. So people just scroll till they find something they can consume. There's a classic Netflix problem, right? I mean, you get your friends together, your family together, and you sit down and say, okay, we're going to watch some Netflix program today, or we're going to watch a movie. And then you spend the next 1 hour scrolling all the choices available to you and never selecting a movie.
Tell me about that. That is so true, actually. So you think this is digital noise?
I think the democratization of entertainment has brought a lot of options and a lot of choices. So people who did not grow up with digital, I'm not talking about the recent generation, the 2020 generations, the kids born today will be growing up with digital as part and parcel of their life, and they will be able to navigate this medium really well. But people who did not grow up with digital find it incredibly difficult to choose the right things because there's an overwhelming amount of choice. I feel some of it is related to your personality, your mood, your decision making styles, etc. Some of it is also very attractively produced content. I mean, very very high end production quality of some of these things that we see on Instagram and on YouTube and other places, and you're tempted to see what is it all about. So they kind of feed into your your limbic brain system, which is the ancient brain. They attract your attention. Yes. Does that mean that you're distracted all the time? Not really. You're just trying to choose what to spend your time on, and the overwhelming number of options is what drives this FOMO also, right? What if I watch this and not watch that? Because your social circle might be discussing something and you may have missed out on that, right? So there's a lot of driving factors. I don't think it's a simple as simple as that. But anyway, this digital noise thing is a good point that you brought out. Is it really noise? And if it is noise, why are we even bothered about it? I think it's something to do with FOMO, fear of missing out. Do you feel that? I mean, as a business owner, do you feel that your business is not doing enough on digital and you should add to the noise, or you're missing out because you're not on digital?
To be honest, constantly. I see everybody else putting out so much. They are sharing their thoughts, their daily life, their routine. The brands are, doing behind the scenes. There is so much of content, and more than that, there are so many content creators that definitely the FOMO is there, and it's a real thing. This FOMO is a real thing. Businesses come to me asking or saying that possibly we are not doing enough. But then what is enough? It also depends on the nature of the business and what are they trying to tell their audience. and why are they trying to tell whatever they are telling to their audience. So the messaging and the why and the importance how of that messaging also becomes very important. But but the race is such that people just want to be there 24/7 in front of their audience, thinking that they will capture a mind share or the attention share. But that is not true, because I believe that there is so much of what shall I say, cognitive overload. There is, people are losing their cognition. There is an impairment to their cognition and their, you know, there is a fatigue that is setting in. But the FOMO is not going to go away. And I know a lot of big businesses. Just recently you were telling me this Nike story, and I know that big businesses also want to join this bandwagon. Sometimes it is not even required, but digital noise is real and the FOMO is real. However, if you could just, there was something very important I wanted to talk about from that Nike story you were telling me the other day, but I would want you to retell that story to our audience one more time.
Yeah, so the Nike story again, right? All the caveats in place that a lot of speculation is there, a lot of blaming is there because Nike is losing market share and their stock prices have taken a hit, etc. Now people are trying to ascribe why is it so. One of the things is the new CEO came up and he kind of hired some management consultancy, and the management consultancy said that you should stop doing what you were doing traditionally because the market has moved on. It's all online now. Your sales is taking a hit because you're not online. You should focus a lot more on online marketing and online branding and things like that. And even they even restructured the way Nike actually puts together their merchandise, and it was all in the sports category. Now it's became some other category, men, women, kids, and things like that. So what has happened in Nike's case is because they went all into digital, and again digital advertising is a very controversial thing because there are multiple case studies which say digital advertising does not work if you're a known brand. In fact, it's a negative. So they have wasted a lot of money and time, and they kind of pulled back from their traditional advertising, branding, messaging, etc. And people are ascribing all kinds of issues to that. They are saying that, hey, you kind of broke the expectations of people when they hear the name Nike. They expect something from you. You were really doing well by telling those stories of athletes, etc. You again broke the expectations of people. You kind of have a very good positioning in the customer's mind and you broke that. So going digital does not necessarily mean good business results, because in Nike's case you can see that they went digital and they had business cases. I mean, the business results are not really good. I mean, there's no correlation. You cannot keep up saying that I spent $100 million or $1 billion on digital advertising, but I lost money. Of course you lost money. And the funny thing is, they did not do this as an experiment. They just went all in. They just suspended everything else, which is not a good idea. Now the CEO says that we are going to come back and we are going to do a lot more, traditional advertising and things like that. That's the story.
Yeah, but see, the story perfectly captures the initial thought, the initial idea, which is digital noise and the FOMO, and how easy it is to get seduced by the, the, I would say, the movement and the color and everything that happens on the digital. People like to see themselves out there. But is this really required? So, what I take from this story is focus on value over the volume. Uh, I believe it is important, and that's one lesson that Nike must have learned. The value that they were providing, and especially their, the inspiring stories that they would come out or come up with, was so much more emotion generating, or touching the chords of their audience, rather than just being on their audience face all the time. And I believe it is important for any business to prioritize value driven messaging rather than the volume of messaging, and that is the hardest part. So how
Yeah.
do you think businesses can create that balance?
See, I think we should also focus on a business using using digital, right? I mean, the noise, basically adding to the noise, content creation in the from the perspective of a business, because of this democratization, the platforms that are come out, right? And you can create videos and media and whatnot very, very easily, also means a lot of people are doing that, and their job is that. There are people who are called content creators. They only create videos and, whatever they do. I mean, they create cute looking videos, lip sync songs, and that's their job. They earn through the advertising revenue that they generate, and they don't run a business which they are advertising or talking about on social media or all kinds of media, right? Their business is being famous. Now we have to be very, very careful when we talk about digital noise. A lot of noise is produced by content creators. A business, on the other hand, has to take a very, very different approach to get into the digital landscape. You cannot just jump in and say, I'm going to copy my favorite content creator strategy and use it for my business. It will not work. You're not a content creation business. You might be a business which is a brand which is selling consumer products. Maybe you're selling jewelry, maybe you're selling, books, maybe you're selling some kind of event, etc. You have to be very, very cognizant of that fact. And I think, Nisha, you were talking about that Instagram influencer who could not sell t-shirts, right? What was that story?
So she had more than 1 million followers, but she could not sell even 37 t-shirts. And and that kind of drives home the fact that if the followers does not mean good business, the number of followers does not mean good business. It's just a vanity matrix. And I think we have talked so much about this vanity matrix, and rather than that, people should actually pursue genuine engagement, even if it is just one or two. But if people genuinely like your content and your messages resonate with them, they will stay loyal, and they will possibly give you business too. So again, this is a slippery slope that we are talking about. The digital noise, the celebrity status or the celebrityhood that these influencers enjoy are rather short-lived than in terms of genuine engagement from their followers. So yes, it's a bit of an inside joke for all the marketers now, but that's what it is, and that's why creating engaging experiences are really important. And the rise of this experience economy, it kind of underlines the fact that consumers are looking for very personal, very contextualized experiences rather than just generic products. So it's important that brands focus on real life stories, brand stories, real life testimonials, and build their value than just talk about, being, or just talk about the benefits or features of their product, or rather being salesy. That is the whole idea.
There's another extreme also, right? Liquid Death, for example. Brilliant marketing. I mean, it's marketers' favorite story to tell. Liquid
That
Death
is true.
sells water
Yeah.
in aluminum cans, right? Like a Coke bottle, etc. Very nicely designed and whatnot. It's a brand game, and the person who started the business, he's considered a hero and all that. But when you look at the business result, they're still raising money. They're not profitable after, I don't know, 10 years of this entire. And I call it a gimmick because everybody in the marketing industry loves the story, but the truth is it's a bad business model. The business is not profitable. Their revenue is less than what, in a year, their revenue is less than what Coca-Cola earns in a day. So it's not a very big business, but their value is about 1.4 billion dollars. Again, paper valuation, right? On ground, they are not earning money. So just because marketing looks good, a lot of story, a lot of noise is there, that does not necessarily translate into business results. So as a business, you have to be very, very sharp about what will move the needle for you in terms of sales, in terms of lead generation and things like that. At the same time, it may not be directly attributable, in the sense, for example, Nike's case, right? A lot of advertising, a lot of storytelling, a lot of narration, a lot of beautiful looking ads, but you cannot measure the impact of those ads on your business directly until and unless you stop them. And Nike stopped them and tried something else, and they saw that, hey, those ads were actually impactful, and it was necessary to do those ads. Although we cannot directly attribute sales to it, It was driving sales. So the nuance here being, although you are going to get into digital noise or digital medium, understand your customer really well. How do they perceive you as a brand? What is their what is the positioning they have of you and your company? If they think that you are a daily consumable brand and you try to become a premium brand, you try to advertise or talk about or generate content like a premium luxury brand, you are going to lose the customer. It's very necessary for you to understand as a business what need you fulfill and what place in the customer's mind you have. Again, I'm not going to demographic divides at all here. I'm just talking about the place in the customer's mind and how you tell a story against that. So content creation is nothing but storytelling. Some people do it badly, some people do it really well. If you have to do it really well, you have to understand your potential customers, your current customers mindset regarding your business, and tell the story against that. I think, Nisha, one of the stories you were telling, I mean, one of the brands you follow is the small jewelry brand, and how they tell story across the age groups, right? It's not a
Yes.
single demography they are talking about. Can you tell us that how that brand does it so well?
Yeah, so it's a wonderful it's a very small jewelry brand based out of India, but what I really love is the fact that they talk about how women relate to jewelry, be it a 6-year-old girl or a 60-year-old grandmother. And these are real people and they're real stories. And there's one small montage or one small glimpse of their day or their interaction with that piece of jewelry, or what does it mean to them, that jewelry, or how does it make them feel. And it is almost like watching, you're watching somebody from your family. It's almost as if you have gifted someone, and you are just waiting for the joy to erupt on their face. And this brand captures it beautifully. The good thing is that the founder, she does not use big models or famous models or even models at all. These are real people around her, her grandmother, her grandmother's friends, mom or her nieces, their friends, her driver's wife or her help at home, her babysitter. So real people who will interact with a piece of jewelry. And I've heard that she always it's a very candid shoot. They're not posing, and that is why it captures their genuine emotion. So it's a wonderfully uh, shot. It's a beautiful storytelling for sure. The settings are really nice. It could be a garden, it could be a living room, and the play of the shadow. And I'm sure she kind of films like she would. The composition of the set is definitely there, but the emotions are real. And these people are, even though they are aware that they are being shot, that the surprise element, or that's the moment that the camera would capture that particular feeling of unboxing a jewel or just wearing it. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to watch. Unfortunately, I can't name them because I'm not sure if I will be violating any law. But it's a beautiful jewelry brand, and a lot of women who are following that will know. They have more than 200,000 followers on Instagram, and doing really well. So they really capture, that lady just knows what she's doing, and she knows that what jewelry would mean to women, and it's beautiful.
I mean, some people will say 200,000 is nothing. That number of followers is nothing at all. But the truth is, for a business, it's not the number of followers, it's the number of engaged fans who are willing to buy from you. Right? You
True.
may have just 1,000 people, but they buy from you every single month. And that can add up to a lot of revenue for a business. So, as a business, when you're thinking about getting into digital brand creation, storytelling, video creation, any kind of thing, right? I mean, you're adding on to that so-called digital noise. You're getting into digital media. Think from your customer's perspective. Think about what story you can tell. Think about how they will relate to your brand, and is it going to change their perspective of you as a brand for the positive? If not, if you're going to break expectations, don't do it. Sometimes it's better not to do these things because your competitors are doing. Maybe just standing apart, just doing that newspaper ad that you have been doing traditionally, but doing it a little better might be a better strategy for you as a business than getting into digital. Experimentation is always welcome, but don't do it for the sake of FOMO, fear of missing out. That's what I feel about the whole digital noise issue. People getting, you know, very
That is
anxious
so
because
true.
it's there and I'm not doing enough. Hey,
Yeah.
how many clients do you need? Are you getting enough? If yes, can you grow in that direction?
Yeah.
If not, what else can you add on? Be very, very strategic about it. Do not
And
think with your heart when you're running a business, as they say, right? And this decision making is also like that. And there will be hundreds of marketing agencies, marketers, content creators, so-called influencer marketers who will come to you and say, you know what, we will just increase your business, double it, 10x is 20x it, if you give us the opportunity and the money. Assess it. Ask them a simple question. This is my customer base, this is what I sell. What is your plan around it? They can't answer it in specifics. They don't know what they are going to do for your business. They're just trying to get your money. Please be very careful about this. A lot of businesses are fooled into thinking that if they do digital ads or if they do digital content creation, they are going to get more business. Not necessary at all, right? You have to attract the attention of the audience, and you have to create a loyal fan following who is also potentially your customer. Requires a lot of thinking and planning before you enter the market and do something with it. Hope that kind of tells you what not to do, but what should you do is another challenge, right? I think we'll tackle that at some other point because it's a fairly vast topic.
it is. Yeah, indeed it is. No, and but there's another angle and a very small thing that I would like to add to everything that you have said here, Anoop, is that also an anxious business is a nightmare for an agency or even a marketer, because this expectation, the FOMO that businesses suffer from, and the thoughtlessness that they put into their digital strategy, the less, they do not think through, and exactly what you're saying right now, think through it, do more research, ask more questions, but ask the right questions. And I think the digital, see, any decision we make under pressure or duress or under with fear is not going to yield results, and digital FOMO is just one of those things. Overcoming that FOMO, or the sense of the urgency to overcome that FOMO, actually leads to a lot of digital noise and the kind of content that we see around us. So, yeah, Anup. So, what is your parting thought to this? Everything, every points that we have discussed. What is one big takeaway that you would like to underline for our audience?
One big takeaway is just being part of the digital media circus does not mean that your business is going to improve. At the same time, being very strategic about it, maybe doing small things and trying to create a small, well knit fan base will improve your business. So look at quality than quantity when it comes to digital media, and focus on what your customers are looking for from you and your business as a brand. That's my takeaway.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anup. It's such a lovely discussion and very useful one.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And that is it for this episode. I'm Nisha Prakash. You can find me at LinkedIn and my website nishaprakash.com.
And I'm Anoop Kurup. You can find me at LinkedIn and my website, anoopkurup.com. We will see you in the next exciting episode of Click, Brand, and Beyond.